like, well, you know, we're on to baby number 3 now.
And she'll do that. She'll look at me like.
There was a lot of crying on my end. Do we want any more kids?
And the answer to that is, hey guys!
This is Hannah.
And this is Regal.
Thank you so much for coming back to our channel. Before we start, we just want to say thank you so much to Thrive Market for sponsoring today's video.
So today we are going to be doing a birth story / postpartum Q&A.
Yes, we did a question box on Instagram and we had you guys ask all of the questions that you had.
And there was a lot of questions, so thank you guys so much for submitting those.
We'll fill you in on how life has been the last month and leading up to it and all that stuff.
And if you haven't already, make sure that you
like and subscribe and turn the notifications so you know when we post next.
Hit that button.
Yes, so we have a little guest. I'm holding Haven right now. She was napping and now she's not. Our son is napping, but so if you hear little baby noises, that's because I'm holding her. You can't actually even see her really.
No, she's like right below. She's giving us the eyes like,
She's looking at us.
Yes.
I just got done feeding her, so
Yes.
she probably is gonna fall asleep. And if you see me like rocking back and forth, it's like
she's not cold.
I'm not cold. I'm not just shaking. I'm gonna see if she can maybe take a little cat nap.
First question is,
how are you feeling all around? How are we doing?
compared to our last go about with a newborn, this has been, I feel, much more restful.
Yes, I will say so.
I think that she's being a great sleeper.
As much as a newborn can be.
Yeah, first week I would say was a little of adjustment. Obviously being tired.
I mean, we were kind of tired leading up to her.
Especially her, because I was just, support, but we both weren't sleeping a bunch.
No,
and,
she cluster fed a lot the first few days. So that first week was just adjusting also to having a toddler and a newborn was a lot. There was a lot of crying on my end. No, really crying on his end. The hormones, the postpartum hormones. So the first few days are just kind of a lot.
I think we've got into a decent rhythm. There's been some hiccups as far as like her not going to sleep right away during the night or won't go back to sleep. But I think in general we've kind of developed a good system now with her. And
she kind of has been sleeping the same amount usually every night, and you know, some nights not as much. Kind of depends. She's so cute. She fell
out.
asleep.
Yeah.
Are you sleepies? I wasn't sure how the transition from 1 to 2 is going to go. Compared to 0 to 1, 1 to 2, I think has been easier for us personally.
Yeah.
So I know everyone's experience is different, and I also think it has lots to do with what your baby is like, because our son was very colicky, and so that obviously can really affect how that can go, because it affected the sleep, it affected the feeding, it just, you know, there was a lot, and she has not been colicky this far. So that just in itself, she's been an easier baby in that sense. So I think that has also made the transition a lot easier. If someone had a not colicky baby the first time and then a colicky baby the second time, you know, your opinion might be different. That 1 to 2 is harder. So I think it has also a lot to do with what your baby is like with the transitions as well. 1 to 2 children has been easier for us. So, but yeah, other than that, how are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel like I remember we weren't really getting much sleep the first time around, so we went to the chiropractor appointment and my blood pressure, I've never had high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And so my blood pressure was like, it was just high, and they were like, oh wow, that might be just because of stress or something. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I've been having
or not sleeping.
Yeah, and I was like, do you think not sleeping can affect that? They're like, absolutely.
Those first few months were challenging.
I feel great because we've been able to get good sleep.
I mean, obviously, having a newborn just in general can be tiring, especially because I'm breastfeeding and that drains energy also. I do feel tired. I mean, honestly, the pregnancy tired is also exhausting. So I feel like I've been just kind of tired for like almost a year now. So this is just kind of my normal. But I will say I'm sleeping longer because now I don't have to get up and pee like every hour.
Yes.
Now I can actually like go to sleep when I go to sleep until she wakes us up.
But you know, even through the tiredness though, she has a personal masseuse, and she also has, you know, a personal on-call waiter as well for things.
It's
so
great.
I've been making sure to aid in this
he's honestly
tiredness.
Been amazing. He has helped
and she's
so
been doing great too.
Much. We're still not really on a schedule for breastfeeding. I am kind of tied down to being like breastfeeding a lot because it's kind of just on demand right now because we haven't really gotten a schedule, so it does make it harder to get up and do things. So he's done a really amazing job at taking care of Jace and stepping up more in that department when I can't, and taking care of me which in turn is taking care of her. So.
And she's doing a great job of taking care of her daughter.
And another thing I think for us that has honestly helped a lot during this newborn phase is a company called Thrive Market, and we're going to get into that right now. So a brand that we absolutely love at this house is Thrive Market, and I have especially been loving them during this newborn phase. With having a newborn and a toddler, getting out of the house and going grocery shopping while having to navigate feeding time and nap times is just a lot. So it is so nice to be able to just order our snacks right through Thrive Market so that we just can get everything delivered right to us. Some things that we love in this house is their veggie sticks. I love them, my son loves them, my husband loves them. Also with breastfeeding, oats are really good, and I love these Heavenly Hunks as a breastfeeding snack. I have gone through so many packs of these. Not only do I just love the convenience of Thrive Market, I also love how affordable it is. So just on this order alone, we saved $67 by going through Thrive Market, which is a lot of money to be saving on groceries. So another thing I really love about Thrive Market is their affordable organic grocery options that they have, also including low sugar and high protein options that they have for your family. And it's really cool too because they have over 90 plus different diet options that you can shop through. Another thing that I really love about Thrive Market is our local grocery stores. They don't always carry a lot of the products and groceries and certain brands that we're looking for. They'll be at one store and not the other, so we're having to drive around to all these different places. But with Thrive Market, we can just filter and search things to exactly what we want and just get it all delivered to us, which is honestly just so nice. And I actually have an exciting discount for you guys if you would like to order Thrive Market. If you go to the link in the description, or if you go to thrivemarket.com/hannahandregal, you can get 30% off your first order and a free gift worth up to $60 when you join Thrive Market today. So if you've been wanting to check out Thrive Market, it'd be a great time to do so, because in addition to the savings you already get using Thrive Market, you can get that additional savings by using this link. And we also just want to say thank you to Thrive Market for sponsoring today's video.
So question number 2.
How has Jace been around Haven, and has he been jealous at all? He's been great.
He's been really good. He really loves his sister.
He does.
At night, I've been getting used to say, like, we're going to go say goodnight to mom and baby sister. So sometimes I'll be like, all right.
Nursing her, like, when he...
Yeah, when I'm getting him ready. And so I'll be like, all right, it's time to go say goodnight to mom. And then he goes, and baby sister. Like, he just loves
her.
He loves
really
her.
does. It's so sweet.
Just kind of monitoring his, like, energy level around her, making sure he's being... I mean, he is gentle, but he's obviously a toddler, so...
Yeah. Honestly, he hasn't showed any really signs of jealousy. Only one time. I don't even know if it was, like, jealousy, though, because he didn't really do anything. We just had someone visiting, and they were, like, you know, hadn't seen Haven before, so they're like, oh, and he was trying to get their attention, and he kind of just made, like, a little, like, pouty face, because we were all talking too, so I don't think they heard that, you know, he was talking to them, and so he kind of was just like, but that's really the only sign of jealousy. And I don't even know if that would be considered jealousy, because I don't know if he was even jealous of her, if it was just that he was sad that, like, you know, that person didn't hear him. And we did get some advice from people and just, like, some videos we watched. Basically, like, try not to blame things on the baby.
We've been real, like, instead of just putting all the blame of things, like, on her, you know, we just say, hey, we have to do this right now, so we can't do that. Deflecting it, just the issue is not Haven, it's just something else has to happen.
Right,
you know, like,
instead of being like, you know, he wants me to play with him, instead of being like, I can't do that now because I'm feeding Haven. Just be like, I'm busy right now, I can play with you in just a couple minutes. So just, like, not trying to put in his brain, like, oh, like, they can't do all these things because of baby sister all the time. We're trying to, like, deflect that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that has helped. I just don't know if he's maybe just not even at the stage where he really understands what's going on. Plus, we've been really trying to, like, include him in things too, and, like, whenever he does something good, he does super well with, like, words of affirmation.
Yes, he's very good with, he loves encouragement.
He loves it. So we're like, oh, that was so good, you're so sweet to her, and just, like, I think that maybe has helped too, because if he does anything, be like, thank you so much for helping. We've been just trying to be, like, really making it a positive experience, her being here as much as we can, because obviously not every moment is perfect, but I think that has helped. So
I think so too. Next question.
Do we want any more kids?
And the answer to that is
yes.
We do want more kids. I think the first few days when we got back from the hospital, there was conversations like testing that vision,
like,
you would say.
More kids.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But we got into a good rhythm, and so we've kind of put that behind us.
I don't know when. I like the age gap that Jace and her have. We're just gonna pray about it.
We would like just a little more land and a little bigger house. We're thankful for what we have now, but another child will have to start sharing rooms and stuff. And I grew up that way.
Totally fine.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
It's just, since I grew up that way, I do know the cons that it can instill within a parent, because we were rambunctious at night and things like that. And so we had 4 kids in one room at one time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun, and I'm not trying to like take that kind of experience. I mean, can be sleepover things in rooms and whatnot. Yeah. But I just feel like, I don't know, I would like them to have their own space, and because it would just help us.
Yeah, because if one kid wasn't sleeping, then at least it would just be that one kid and not like them waking up.
The 2 going nuts in another room.
If we are still in this house and our kids need to share a room,
we've talked about
that's fine.
We've talked about that too. So
ideally, it'd be nice if they could have their own bedroom.
Yeah,
that would ideally. But we'll just see what life looks like when we decide we're ready, or if just we get a surprise and we're like, well. We're on to baby number 3 now. And honestly, it's a land thing too. Right now, we don't have a lot of land.
She grew up on like 120 plus acres. I grew up on 10 acres.
Yeah.
We just don't have that here. We have space, but we just used to a little more space.
Yeah, it'd be just nice to just have
a little more space in the house, a little more space and land. To answer the question, yes, we want more kids. We don't know when. There's just a few factors that are playing into that decision.
Definitely one more kid, and then
in videos prior, we're like, we want 4 kids, and then she's like, I think definitely one more.
I think one more. We'll see. I mean, like, I think that's how everybody is, though. It's like before you have kids, you're like, I want this many, but then the more you have, you're like, okay, now I know what it's like to actually be a parent, and there's a lot of work that comes with it, with each kid. It's a new layer of things. Like, when I picture our family, I picture 4 kids, but we might get to number 3 and be like, what, we're tapping out.
Yeah. We definitely want more children, though.
Yeah.
So.
I was pregnant with Jace. We didn't know that he was a boy yet. I had a dream that we had 3 kids. They all had blonde hair, which Jace is like strawberry blonde. So the dream I had, we had 3 kids, a boy, a girl, and then a boy. And that was before we even knew that Jace was a boy. And so we've had a boy, we've had a girl. So if the next one's a boy,
that'd be nuts. You heard it here you heard it here first. That's what you heard it here first. We'll find out if that was from the Lord. If we have another boy right after this, then it's like
that was from God.
Whoa. So.
That'd be cool. Next question. We're getting into some birth experience
questions. Yeah. I'll take it from here. You can put the phone down.
This was totally all.
Well, where do I begin?
Well, actually, one of these questions is pertaining to you, so take the floor right away.
Okay.
What was your husband's reaction to the birth?
My reaction was, this is crazy. I was like, this is insane. It is kind of like a miracle experience to witness a birth. How it all works and how you end up with a child. It was growing in her the whole time. It was just a powerful experience. We didn't get that the first time with our son.
Neither of us actually got to be
present
for his birth, because I was under anesthesia. So neither of us honestly got to experience his birth really.
Yeah, because they were, had taken her out of the room, and I wasn't able to go with. Last time was really intense. It was scary, and it was very relieving and like miraculous emotionally too, because it was just like, wow, we went through this intense thing and life and death situations, and then this time it was just a very peaceful.
It was so peaceful.
There's only a few times that I actually even cried, just like when I think I first saw her hair and stuff, and I was just like, she's there. And then after she was born, I was just laughing, and we were just like, oh, there you are. It was just so like joyful, it was awesome.
Yeah. I think she's dreaming. She's making little baby squeaking sounds. Next question is, so kind of piggybacking on that, did you have any complications during birth? And this time around, I did not, which was something we were really praying for, because like we just talked about with my son, it was a pretty traumatic birth experience. So this time we were really just praying for it to be a peaceful birth experience, and it honestly was. And I had another dream. There's just been, I don't know, I feel like when I'm pregnant, I get lots of dreams, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I did have a dream a few weeks before she was born that I was giving birth. I just remember the part that stood out to me is like after I gave birth, I was like, wow, that was so peaceful. That was the birth that we prayed for. And that is honestly what happened.
Yeah.
It was the birth that we prayed for. Oh, hello.
Hey,
She's awake.
Hi,
honey.
You're yawning.
Are you so sleepy?
Everybody's here. Bro, the dog's below, the baby's waking up, our son might be waking up soon. It is a party here at
lots of activity happening. Everything honestly was really smooth. As soon as my water broke, that's basically like when active labor started, and so that was around midnight.
We just had to do a little milk break.
Little milk break.
Milk break!
Yeah, if we look like we're sitting a little bit different, that's why she got hungry. So anyways, we're back now. Basically, my water broke at home around midnight. From about that point, it was 5 hours of laboring. We started pushing at 5 and she was born at 5:30, but we actually had to take a break in the middle of pushing because there was like a more emergent patient that came in. So they literally like, do you think you can like pause pushing for a second? And I was like, I mean, I think so.
And she did have an epidural at the time, so...
Yeah, I bet I didn't have an epidural. I'd be like, no. I'd be like, no, we're not pausing. And then they wouldn't have probably asked me.
Yeah,
it's just because it was really calm and like I was like, is that safe? They're like, oh yeah, she's doing great. Like if anything changes, of course we'll like resume. And I'm like, okay. So we waited like 10 15. So it was about 20 minutes I had to push for a total.
Hey, real quick.
Before we continue, if you could just hit that like button and subscribe, we would greatly appreciate it. It helps us so much. Now back to the video.
Ow! Next question is...
Did I tear? And I did, just slightly. I had 2 stitches, and then I looked at my records after, and they said it was a 2nd-degree tear. So, and honestly now, everything feels fine down there. At the first week or 2, it did not feel good after I was sat for a while, or if I was sitting or kind of in a weird position, I had to sit on one of those donut things for a while, and that did help. Next question. Did I feel the baby come out even with an epidural? So not pain-wise, the epidural I had was kind of crazy because I guess most people, this happened also with my son because I had an epidural before the whole C-section thing happened with him, but I was still able to like feel my legs. They felt really heavy. I couldn't feel any pain, but I could still move, and I was even able to get up like on my hands and knees and get in that position to push, and I guess that normally isn't the case. Normally you can't like move. Yeah,
they say just like a common thing, I guess, that redheaded people have a higher like tolerance towards like pain relief medication.
Well, and like I think it's anesthesia.
And anesthesia maybe specifically.
Yeah, and I don't know if that is the epidural falls into that category, but I have heard that like redheads, you need more Novocaine and anesthesia. I don't know.
All the redheaded people, if you guys have experienced the same thing,
yeah, let us know.
Comment below. We'll figure this out together. Okay.
Yeah, but anyways, I was able to move around the epidural. My legs did feel heavy. They did, but I was able to feel all the pressure too. I could feel the pressure of her coming out, and I could feel her like moving down and I was pushing. And then as she came out, there was a lot of pressure. It was still kind of uncomfortable as she came out because like it wasn't painful, but it was uncomfortable. I will say the one thing with the epidural is I am having now is back pain. And it's not like my whole back hurts. It's mainly just around the area that I had the epidural.
She didn't have that last time. I don't know if it was because there was a lot of other pain going on that she was recovering from that she might not have.
Yeah, but this time I am. And it's not all the time. It's only with like certain movements. So if you've had an epidural and you have had back pain after, comment below and tell me how long it lasted for because it's already been over a month. So I am hoping that this is not like a long-term complication I'm going to have from it because that would obviously not be good. So, and like it's not debilitating or anything. Like it's only when I like move my back in a certain way I can feel it, or if I've been sitting in the same position for a long time.
Yeah.
Next question is, did you feel supported by your birth team with your VBAC? Yes, I felt super supported. From basically the first doctor's visit we went into, we were just like on the same page of like that was the goal that we're wanting as a VBAC this time. And during birth too, they never even like made any comments about like, oh, you're trying to have a VBAC, like I don't know, like no one ever said anything. Like it was all just like, okay, that's the plan, let's just see what happens. Piggybacking on that, the next question is, what did I do to prepare for my VBAC? And honestly, I did not.
Hold on, let me tell you. The thing is there was a lot that I did in order to prepare.
He prepared so much for this VBAC.
I really did. Like I was mentally preparing.
He was bouncing the ball.
There was so much.
He was eating his dates.
I was
drinking
doing
the
all the
red
things.
raspberry leaf tea.
So much raspberry leaf tea.
All
And then
of
I was just like, you should try this. And so I did let her have some of the raspberry tea.
It was all thanks to his prep work.
Yeah, no. Sorry.
No.
I'm being stupid.
But honestly, okay. I was trying to not go into labor earlier than I had to, only because we were trying to finish up a few house projects. So honestly, I was trying the opposite of not trying to go into labor.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I don't want to do too many things to like induce this, because we were just trying to, our whole front like area where you come in the house was just like ripped apart, and I did not want to bring a baby home to a construction area.
Nor did I.
Honestly, I just was very fortunate that my body just was able to just do it with very little prep.
There was times that she was just doing too much, and I'm just like, yo,
Yeah.
if you want to go into labor tonight, keep doing what you're doing, or you can sit
put
down.
the laundry basket down. So then we finally finished everything, and I'm like, okay. The night that I went into labor,
I did tell you that.
He told me, he was like, because I was doing a bunch of laundry and putting a bunch of clothes away, and I was getting kind of like, getting tired. He's like, if you keep doing that, you're gonna go into labor. And I went into labor that night.
One thing that we did do is we were walking regularly.
Yes. We just really prayed about it, honestly.
Yep, and we prayed a lot of prayer.
That's honestly what I did to prepare, is we just prayed about it. We really were praying that I'd be able to have a successful VBAC, and God answered that prayer. So it was all him, honestly.
Yep.
It wasn't really anything I did. So if you're wanting to VBAC, and I would just really pray about it.
Yeah.
God, he knows the desires of our heart, and that was a huge desire of mine.
Last question.
Does she look like Jace did when he was born, or does she look different?
There's some similarities. I would say that her nose is similar.
It's like a feminine version of his nose, honestly.
Like there's times right now where she's sleeping and we're looking at her in the on the camera.
Yeah.
It just kind of looks like him,
Yeah, like
from
right
the
now,
upward angle.
Yeah.
Because the bottom of her nose looks very similar.
Yeah.
And they both have the same angle of nose.
Yeah.
Like Hannah's. Mm-hmm. Like mine doesn't go up more.
His is more like goes straight up. Mine kind of goes up a little bit, and they both have that.
Yeah.
And like honestly, right now, like she's sleeping, she looks kind of. They kind of have like a similar look. Honestly, she kind of looks like a girl version of him in a way, but she has her own features too. Mm-hmm. She's very animated in her face. She makes so many funny faces.
It honestly reminds me of my dad. He makes his face like, and she'll do that. She'll look at me like.
And she has so much more hair than him.
Yeah.
He barely had any hair, and it was kind of like fuzzy, really light blonde looking almost.
Yeah.
Hers is dark, and she has so much hair.
Yeah.
So that's a huge difference.
That wraps up all the questions, guys. We appreciate all the questions, for taking the time to be a part of this.
Yeah.
We could not be doing what we do without your love and support.
Yes.
And so we really appreciate just even being on this journey, this season of our life with a newborn. It's been a very fun chapter of our life. We're just thankful that you guys could be a part of this in a big way through your prayers and support and all your encouraging words. You guys have just blessed us so much. I mean, honestly, anytime I go through our comment sections, I mean, I'm overwhelmed a lot of times just by all the love and prayer that you guys have been giving us. And we truly feel that it helped with not only the newborn stage that we're in right now, but just in our life and just the birth. We appreciate you guys so much. So
we're very, very grateful for everything. Yeah.
We also just want to make sure to remind you about the Thrive Market offer that we have for you.
Click the link in the description below, or go to thrivemarket.com/hannahandregal to get 30% off your first order and a free gift worth up to $60 when you join Thrive Market today.
So until next time, this is
Hannah.
And this is Regal.
Thank you so much for watching, guys.
See ya.
Bye.